Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've filmed the video, but today is really exciting because I'm actually unboxing the new Dyson Coanda. Here it is. I just got it delivered literally 30 minutes ago and I hopped in the shower and I'm about to test it. So I have a love and hate relationship with Dyson. I feel like on one side I can't live without it because it makes my hair so shiny, so healthy over time, and I feel like it has cut down the amount of time that I spend blow drying my hair, so that's a plus. But on the other side, I can't get those styling to kind of stay, and I know in my head that if I'm using that tool, it's something that I have to kind of do every day. But throughout the whole process of learning how to use the Dyson and choosing it over every other tool that I've ever had, I literally threw away my Revlon. I've always felt like I was missing just a little power. And so when the ID came out, I wasn't sure to purchase it, and that's why I waited this long to purchase this baby. So here it is. This is the brand new Dyson Coanda. It comes in 3 colors. I chose this color because I feel like I liked it the most. The purple one would have been my first choice, but I feel like the shade was just a little bit too dark for me, and I tend to gravitate towards the pink ones. So today I'm going to do actually half of my face or half of my hair with Dyson Coanda and the other half with the old one, just to see if you're trying to decide whether you want this one or you want maybe the original if someone's selling it in your hometown or anything, or if you want to go for the ID right from Sephora, which is the version before this one that brings other tools as well. I'm gonna get this out of the bag right here, and I'm gonna show you actually the battery pack, how big it is. It is gigantic, especially compared to the old one. And also the box itself, I do want to compare it. So the top comes up completely and it doesn't have like the dividers, so you basically have everything like laying around here as, you know, one on top of the other. And I feel like the reason I kept my Dyson so neatly throughout all these years is because of those compartments, because things weren't scratching with each other. But these are actually plastic, so I don't know how much damage it can actually cause. Okay, so here I have the old box. As you can see, the top is mounted onto this thing, and it's kind of nice because you're not going to lose it. You can just like rest it there. I also brought this divider that the new one doesn't bring, and it did bring a comb. And I was kind of hoping that I was going to get a new comb after 5 years, but it didn't bring. Here is the round brush of the old one versus the new one. As you can see, the material is different. This one is more of a plastic. The bristles are different, and the size. I feel like the material of this one kind of cut my hair in some instances where I would see like hair all around me. This one is from the Airwrap ID, and it does fit the original just in case you're looking for a bigger one. Moving on to the flat brushes. The old one brought 2. And here they are. This one was for like more straight hair, and this one more for wavy curly. So on the new one, we do have a different hair tool. This is what it looks like. As you can see, like on the side, you can see that the bristles kind of angle outwards, something that you don't see on this one's. And the material's pretty, I could guess pretty similar, but it feels like softer than the old ones for sure. So for my type of hair, I was using this one in particular. It's the diffuser, and this is what it looked like on the older one, and this is what it looks like now. I think they're pretty much the same size, same thing. This one says Coanda on the side. So this is where the main differences I think come in, because we used to have the 2 curling ones. So I had these 2, which were one size, had the thicker one right here, and then I had the long ones. So I had this one for long that you could purchase separately, and then I have a thin one for also long, and I had the 2 of those, and then a big one that was this one. So I had 5 curling ones all together. So you can see the 3 sizes on the long ones here, and then the 2 sizes on the short ones. So a lot of tools for just hanging around, and you have to switch it side by side every time you're like doing your hair. For the new one, it's so different. You do get these 2 strands. You do get these 2 sizes, and you just flip to the side on whichever you want to use. So that's pretty neat. I'm gonna put them side by side so you can compare the sizes. Obviously the new ones are a bit shorter. I believe the Coanda ones are even shorter than the ID. So there you can see them, but I do like the idea of having to just switch the top versus having to switch the whole tool. That was a waste of time for me. Then another tool that the new one brings that the old one doesn't have is this one. This is supposed to kind of flatten your flyouts. They call it a straightener, but it's not really to straighten your hair. It's more so to like kind of finish it off and to get those flyaways like straight. There was a tool similar to this one on the ID, but it looked different. It looked much more like the Supersonic, which is the hair dryer, which I also have the original of. And I'm excited to use this one. I don't tend to gravitate towards that one a lot just because I feel like it's an extra step. So maybe that is so handy on this one. Maybe I'll use it more. Here we have them side by side. As you can see, the power buttons are both on the top, but this one flips up and down, where they're on this one you kind of just press on it. You do have your fan and your heat settings on the top. This one has it right on the bottom here. And then this one actually has a technology that you can connect it to your Bluetooth, and then you can choose how long the curls are going to last and all of that. So you can kind of manage it from your phone, which is really cool. And then you don't have to be touching this and turning it off and turning it on. So it does a cooling system and the heating system all by itself. And then you let it know how long you want it to wrap around. So we're going to test that out as well. As far as the colors, I do prepare the new one. I feel like it's so pretty and so chic. This one is a bit longer, as you can see. And one thing I did notice is that the old one does bring a little brush to clean the filter. The new one doesn't. I don't know why they took that away, but that's something that I did enjoy. And I'm going to show you the difference on the weight of the batteries and the size. So the big one is much bigger, of course. That's why they say it has more power, but it does make it a little bulky when you're kind of holding it. As far as sounds, I did turn them both on, and I feel like this one makes just a little bit more noise. Like the noise is a little bit more annoying than the other one, but they're both like pretty silent also compared to the Revlon and the Shark and all of that. Really good for your scalp and for shine and growth. So I like to put this like all around, including the top of my head, and then I just massage it a little bit once it's like all in there. So I go like this. I'm going to be using this Frizz Control from Moroccan Oil, and I'm going to put this in every strand of my hair. Please burn on my nails. I've been using the glue on, and it kind of like destroyed my nails a little bit. So I'm taking a little break. Bonding oil. This stuff is perfection. I use it all the time, and I repurchase it every single time because I really like it. And then I forgot to get a clip for dividing every section, so I'm gonna go hit that. I'm gonna start using this brush because I feel like it's gonna give me the fastest drying time. So I'm gonna do probably the Dyson Coanda on my right side, and then okay, so I'm putting a stopwatch, and as you can see it's on 0. Let's go ahead and hit start. Okay, so I'm hitting stop. It took me 1 minute and 49 seconds to do this little section here. Of course, like I said, I didn't divide it very well, and I was kind of learning how to use this brush, but I feel like it definitely left it really nice. It feels really smooth to the touch, so I really like that. So we have our timer back to 0, and I'm putting the Dyson with this tool on the highest setting, highest fan. This side took me 2 minutes 20 seconds to do, and I feel like it's just not as smooth as this side, and it took me a lot longer to dry it, to be completely honest. But it does work really well, so I really don't know what the complaints would be. I do feel like it's a little bit more puffy. Obviously, I'm not spending as much time as I would, because if I had my whole hair to do with just one tool, I would probably smooth it out so much better than it is right now. Okay, so I'm going to do this section with the round brush. Wow. Okay, that's all I have to say. Seeing the final results, but I just feel like it's leaving a more sleek look. That is kind of what I look for when I'm blow drying my hair. So I'm a bit impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit impressed. Okay, there you have the difference. I don't know what you guys are thinking by looking at them, but I'm loving this side. I don't know. But I'm going to take the same string of hair and I'm actually going to use the straightener tool because I want to see what it looks like. Obviously, I do not have anything to compare it on the original side, so we're going to skip that part or maybe do it on both sides just to see. Okay, so I was wondering how it was actually going to do like the pancake thing. So I basically have to put in the hair and then turn it on because it's not gonna like feel or know that I'm putting it on. So here we go. Okay, that's just one pass and we're gonna go ahead and do it again actually. I'm gonna do it on this side because I have a lot more flyaways. That's something I've always noticed with the old Dyson, that it does leave like this kind of frizzy thing going on. So I'm gonna try it and we're gonna see how it works. If you didn't notice, it does have a sensor. Once it's done by the end of your hairs, it does turn off automatically. If you give it a second, it'll turn off. Okay, I do feel like the tools on the Coanda do get pretty hot to the touch. Both do get pretty hot, but the Coanda's like, I can't even hold it. So I would probably use like one of those little gloves to do my... So I think at this point, you just kind of pick your favorite tool. Mine is a round brush, and I'm going to finish off each side with it. And then I'm going to do like a curl comparison with at least one strand to see the power that both gives us and the result on both of the tools. We have finished the Coanda side. I think it's looking so shiny. We of course have a little bit of frizz, but it's minimal, and I feel like I could fix that by, you know, using the whole tool on my whole hair and having like a bigger mirror, because honestly this is like user error right now with how I'm using it. But if I took my time a little bit more, I feel like I could get a better result. My hair is so smooth. It has never felt, or in a long time, this smooth, or at least I have to like go in with a straightener after I use the Dyson to get it to this right now. So it just feels so nice and healthy, and I'm loving it. The amount of time I took drying it was like, I want to say like less than 4 minutes for the whole side, ever since we were like at the half. So maybe it'll take me like 15 minutes for my whole head. For this side, I feel like it's going to be a little longer, and you saw some strands that were like even, or felt like it had moisture still, so that's going to turn into frizz once I go outside. I want to see how this is going to perform, obviously, on a longer term, because I'm just looking at it here. But I'm so impressed so far, so let's go ahead and finish this side. That just made it really hard. This is the original side. And this is the Coanda side. This is like a tough choice because it not only matters like how the hair is looking in the end, I feel like the tool itself does matter, and I feel like this one, I noticed a lot of breakage when I was using this, and then it kind of dries out my hair. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if anyone else has had this experience with this brush, but I just do feel like it dries my hair just a tiny little bit. As far as shine, I feel like both sides look really good. This side feels a little bit more frizzy, but it's still like kind of smooth. But as I run my fingers through, but right by the ends, I feel like it just doesn't seal the ends that well compared to the other side. But both sides still look pretty good. I prefer this side just because it's a tiny bit more slick, like I mentioned in the beginning. And I feel like if you are on the fence of looking for a tool, I would go ahead and just do it. I'm switching to the curling wand. And I'm going to be using, I think this is the thicker one. Yep, the thicker one, but shorter. And I'm going to take one strand of hair. And I've already programmed it on my phone to be 5 seconds to grab the hair, 20 seconds to dry or to style, and then 5 seconds or 7 seconds to cool. So it's going to do it all by itself. So I'm just going to turn it on. So I don't know if you heard like the process in between. That was like it switching from the grabbing, the styling to the cooling setting. I think that's so cool. You don't have to like even pay attention to your hair. You don't have to be like pressing up, pressing down, counting in your head. It just does it all on its own. And I didn't even do anything on my phone. It's already preset to what I wanted it to be, and now it's just gonna be like that until I change it. I've turned it off and on a couple of times and it just stuck. So I think that's really good. As far as a curl, it's so bouncy and so pretty. I feel like it gave me a longer curl than the other one does. So I'm going to find a similar one to this one. And okay, so I'm going to take a strand of hair and we're going to compare. There we go. So like I said, it is a tighter curl. Obviously, I'm like doing it with my hands versus on its own. And I did have to count it. So I did 20 seconds of the heat and 7 seconds of the cooling shot. But this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to do like this. And you guys are going to tell me which one you prefer. Even with just like that strand of hair in the beginning, like right in the front or your face, it just looks different. Like the whole hairdo looks different. So I just feel like this is such a versatile tool, like the Airwrap in general, that it doesn't even matter if you get the old one or the new one. I feel like you're gonna love it. One thing I will mention is that you have to use the right shampoo, conditioner, and prep products. Otherwise, you're not gonna like this tool. Your hair has to be ready for a blowout. In my country, we call it a Dominican blowout, kind of like. So I'm from Dominican Republic, so the Dominican blowouts are really popular there. So this is what I'm trying to do at home. If I wanted this to kind of stay, I would have to either do like roll ups and have them pinned in so the volume kind of stays, or I could go in every day and kind of like style it myself. So this is my comparison. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are thinking about switching from the original to the Coanda, I would go ahead and suggest it. I've used the ID just once and I just don't feel like it's enough of a upgrade for me to be like, yeah, it's worth it. Even though I feel like you're gonna like it, I feel like it's much more of an impact when you use the Coanda just because of the full pressure and power. And to be honest, the tool that I was impressed the most with was the round brush. I tend to gravitate towards the round brush because I have curly hair and I feel like I can do so much more with it. I can have straighter hair, I can do volume, I can do curls. So I just like this tool a lot, and I just like to maneuver my hair in every which way. The straightener, I don't know, I have to use it a little bit more, but I do feel like it did kind of work with the flyaways. I don't know how like the longevity it is or the results, like if it's gonna make it last all day, but I do feel like I like it. The curls, I do feel like the power of how it was pulling the hair was much stronger. I don't know if you guys noticed that, and it's cool that I you know, I don't have to be counting in my head or anything. I just kind of like put it up to the hair, and then I just twist to the other side and go to the other side. So I don't have to like be switching tools or be switching attachments. This brush, I feel like, in the sense of how it works, I do prefer the results because it makes my hair super smooth and dried it super quickly, like much quicker than the old one. But the strands that stick out, they were kind of tangly in my hair. So I would have to use more product, maybe a leave-in before I do my hair with this one again. And then the blow dryer, I just feel like it's the same blow dryer as the old one. I don't think there's any difference there. Although I don't really use this a ton other than like getting my hair just a little bit dry, because I prefer to have it like, I know a lot of people say 80% or have it completely wet or having 100%. For me, what it works is having 50%. I feel like that's where my happy medium is, and that's what I stick to. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think, what my hair looks like. I can't believe like the shine and how pretty it looks. I'm actually going to finish off my hair with the Coanda entirely, and I'm going to go to my big mirror so I can actually see it. But if you want any more comparisons, I'm actually getting the Shark Glossy in, so I'll do a video on that one as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!